That is too close to my face. Maybe further back. I'm just gonna keep pushing you further and further away, says every Aquarius ever. Okay. Yeah. Let's do this. Is the memory card even in there? We'll find out. Hello and welcome. I'm Jaded Reader, and I have not seen you guys in a while. I'm sorry about that. I will say, like, I took the time I needed to take. I guess I'm sorry that I was in the space I was in, but I'm not sorry that I didn't film, because I don't think I was really capable of it in the time I took. So I really appreciated all of your guys' patience and pretty much just your understanding in all of this. And I just, like, every time I went to check on my channel to be like, oh, like, how many subscribers did I lose now? And, you know, just trying to get down on myself, I was just overwhelmed by the continual support I was getting and the check-ins that I was receiving from people. And yeah, I've just really appreciated so many people who have either reached out or just not unsubscribed. I know that sounds like a low standard, but I've had pretty low standards in my hiatus, so I just really appreciate all the time that I've been given and the patience and understanding I've received. I'm gonna give you a brief update on my life because I would like to do so. I feel like I've just been kind of stewing in my situation, and it's just, I feel okay enough right now. I feel in a safe enough space right now to do so. So I'm going to make sure that my memory card is in my camera before I really get going on this, and then we'll talk. Okay, cool, we're good. If you watched one of my more recent vlogs, I think it was possibly even one of the last vlogs I did before going on hiatus, you'll know that it was pretty stressful and that we were trapped inside with my family for quite some time. I was incredibly lucky to have my family there, and we were able to just kind of get through that situation together. It was difficult and I was feeling pretty low then, but I also knew that we were going to be going to Japan really soon and that they were trying to figure out our flight situation and all of that, and Japan had opened up specifically for the JET program, and I had an out. I knew where I was going and what I was doing, and our savings were fine because we had savings. Yeah, that past tense is fun. And then after the fires, we had a flood. And that is when I started my hiatus because I needed to move everything that we did have because we had so many things still out, such as my books. In all my videos, you will see me packing up my books, but my favorite books, my most prized possessions, were still on my shelves as my background. And when the flood happened, it happened in the basement of my grandmother's house where I was living. So we were then brought up to the living room and guest room area, and it was kind of a shuffle. We also have cats. There was a problem with the electricity because of the floods, and electricity, water, ground. It was just not a good situation, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take a week off. So then when it flooded the second time is kind of when I felt like I was gonna give up. There's just a lot has been going on, especially with natural disasters, and I don't know what that's about. I can only hope that it will not continue, but it was just a lot of hard moments, and the displacement became more real when I realized I wasn't going to have a place to permanently stay after the second flood. Because as kind and gracious and understanding as my grandparents are, the house is not equipped to have that many people in it in that small of a space with that many animals who don't get along for such a long time. We were staying there for the year to save for Japan, and then Japan again got delayed. I'm not even gonna give the estimated date. They did give us a new estimated date, but we're coming up on the anniversary of me being accepted into the JET program, and we're going with the next cohort now, so just, I don't know. You'll see me in Japan at some point in my life. I'm still part of the program. I'm still set to go. They keep telling me new dates, but it's not something I can rely on right now, and due to the situation, it's been difficult to get a job. I mean, it's difficult to get a job anyway because we're also in a pandemic. But contracting work and having to tell whatever potential employer I have that I could go at any moment to a foreign country does not make me a great candidate. So yeah, that's been that. We were trying to find out a more permanent solution, and then we had snow that kind of also pushed, because a lot of, while we kept power, I'm so grateful that we had power through the entire blizzard. We were snowed in, and it just became really evident as more and more family members needed places to stay. We needed to have a shuffling of households, and an opportunity was presented where we would be house sitting for my mom soon, but there was a gap in between. So in an odd turn of events, my partner and I are now staying with Soleil. My cats are okay, they're with my grandparents, but we are with Soleil. If you don't know who Soleil is, she's from the Little Reader's Corner, and she was kind enough to house us temporarily while we wait for time to house sit for my mom, who does not have an active place for us to stay either. So it's definitely an odd shuffling space for me right now. I wouldn't say comfortable in the way that I normally am comfortable, but I'm not at the low that I was at before. I don't feel incapable of interacting the way I was for the past couple of months. I felt pretty much like I just needed to shell up and just kind of make it through. And I feel like I've made it through to a point of, at least I know my temporary circumstances versus not even knowing my present circumstances. So that's just kind of the long and short of it. Is now we are staying with my friend Soleil, and I'm just incredibly grateful to her and her family for housing us. And we did take COVID tests before coming here. We quarantined in our bubble. We've always been quarantined because I'm with my grandmother, but we continued to quarantine, took our test, and then because BookCon was canceled this year, I was able to get here because I had a credit. That's a really brief, weird, chaotic version of what I've been doing. Very unpracticed, and this lemon is not opening like you're supposed to. There we go. Oh, it's juicy. That's gonna be great. So yeah, I'm not able to read much physically right now. Sorry, I'm chewing. It's not that kind of video. An entire game plan of books I was going to read before going to Japan, books I was gonna be getting through, books, all the different organizational tools went out the window when it was like, your books are either destroyed and wet or you're packing them as quickly as you can. And I just packed them all up. Favorite books are in my suitcase, which is back in Portland. My books that I was going to be sending to myself over the course of like a year, they're just packed away at my mom's. There's just, all of my books are in boxes. The only physical copies I have of books right now is Black Veins, because I am enjoying it and just had to set it down because I was freaking out. And the newest book by Bridget Kemmerer, which is A Vow So Bold and Deadly, because Soleil, upon me arriving here in my just tragic state, bought it for me so that I had a book to read, and I have started that. So yeah, A Vow So Bold and Deadly. The world is really familiar to me, and I've been looking forward to it. So I'll be reading that for the next little bit. I also have been working on a project while I was in my shell hiatus. I feel uncertain and shy about it. Hold on, let me shove this lemon in my mouth really quick. I feel really uncertain and shy about it, but I have started writing. And by started writing, I mean that's kind of the only thing I've been able to do. I wasn't able to read because I finished a book in a series around the time that I was just in my shell, and it kind of like broke me a little bit because the world ended and I felt so displaced. And then the world was no longer a place I was in, and I just was like in this weird disconnect between like not being able to be in my world and not being able to be in that one, that I kind of started to cycle out of control, and I kept reading it over, and I can just say it was just not a good time. Talking to Olivia Savannah, however, was a great time, and she was a huge support to me. I don't want to get into what the book was because I feel it was a dark moment in my life and I don't want to get into it, but Olivia Savannah has a great Read It Back series that I will link down below, and you can go enjoy the world I immersed myself in for much too long. But in doing so, I was able to realize I needed to leave that world and I needed to make my own, because my actual present world was not working and my book world kept ending because books end. and I was able to kind of start creating my own world, and I really enjoyed it and the characters, and I started writing an actual story out of it. I don't want to say much more because I don't know what it is yet. I just know that I'm enjoying myself and that I feel like it could be potentially something. Hopefully it is something, and you'll hear about it later. But as of right now, it was just a really great coping mechanism, and it helped me work through a lot of things that I needed to work through, as one does when they are in a cocoon. The one book I did read and really enjoyed, despite the irony of me dealing with a flood while it was happening, was Alessia and Atlantis. This is by Natalie Lane, and it was a really just great, adorable middle grade. I was in a weird spot. I'm just gonna say that as a reviewer. I was in a really weird spot when I read it, but I think it has really good themes, and if you are looking for a middle grade, I would recommend that one easily and checking it out. The author was also incredibly kind and courteous, checking up on me, not to see if I had read the book or if I could promote it. She was just honestly concerned about my situation because she had seen in one of my YouTube postings that I was dealing with a flood in the first place. So a really kind, thoughtful person who wrote a book, and you can just really see that kind of character come through in her characters. So despite it happening during the flood, there were two floods. Between the two floods, it was a good time. Alessia of Atlantis comes out, I believe, on March 1st. I will make sure that the proper information is listed down below, but I can say for certain it was just really great. I wasn't able to read it critically the way I wanted to, but instead I was able to read it in a really comforting way. And it is one of those books where you can definitely read it and have a lot of fun while enjoying the themes and getting a comfort from it. That's as far as I've been able to go as far as books, until the last 48 hours, in which I read the last 30 hours of Oathbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. Is it Oathbringer or Oathbreaker? Is it the sword or the book? Oh crap. There is an entire live on Becca and the Books channel, and I will link that down below because we just had that, and it actually kind of spurred me on to be able to film because I had not been on camera in 2 months when joining that live, and it was so much fun and it felt so refreshing, and I felt that instant link back into community. It really did kind of spur me into starting a vlog or a video. I don't know. This might just be an update video, but I'll be vlogging afterwards or doing just something. I will do something after this. And honestly, going from not reading at all to reading Oathbreaker was a trip. Forward my momentum, like I was like, man, if I can read this book in like 48 hours, then I can do anything. I don't know if there's much else to update you on. I'm really sorry I decided to eat a lemon right now. I've been craving one so bad. It's one of my favorite foods. I'm really sorry. But I don't know if there's much more to update you on. I'm either going to vlog or be doing a themed style video. Let me know if there's something that you want from me. That sounded weird. Let me know if there's a certain video that you'd be interested in. Just know that I don't have the physical copies of books right now, and this doesn't have to be my backdrop. I do have my own space here in which I can do things, and Soleil and I have officially united bubbles. I can also do collaborations with Soleil, so if that's something you're interested in, that's great. Let me know. If there's a themed video or recommendations you are interested in, that's great. Let me know. As far as audiobooks, I do have quite a few that I'd like to start. I have 5th season, and it's one I've been really wanting to start, and both Soleil and Olivia, who I both just mentioned in this video, are also interested in starting it, so I might be buddy reading that. If you are interested on my thoughts on that, just let me know. I'm just feeling ready to film again, but there's a lot of different directions I could go, and I think until I know for certain, or if someone is willing to tell me what I should do, I'm just gonna probably vlog and move slowly through this, because I don't know. I don't have much of a game plan right now. I just know that I'm ready to kind of insert myself back into community versus being a hermit, and that I again appreciate everyone just allowing me to kind of disappear, and for so many still sticking around and commenting on older videos just to help with my algorithm. It was just all just really kind. A whole bunch of different forms of kindness sprinkled throughout the time that I was unreactive. So thank you so much. And I guess this is just an update video. Yeah, this is not the start of a vlog. This is just me coming on here, updating you, and then I'm gonna leave. And then you'll see me again because I feel like it. Thank you so much, and I hope you are all doing well. I know the rest of the world is also really struggling. I am not the only one that is struggling right now, and I'm just really grateful that I've had so many support systems in place to help me through that. So if you don't have those support systems in place, please always feel free to reach out to me. Any energy that I am able to lend, I am happy to do so. So I hope that you are all well and safe, and I hope you are enjoying the sun or more stars wherever you are. Pretty sure that's my catchphrase. Until next time, bye. How do you spell fifth? That can't be right. See, I told you the sour strips were a good idea.
Did you eat the red ones already?
Yeah, I did.
Jesus.